Hey guys, it's B. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. So, I'm 17 and I'm turning 18 in August, and I think turning 18 is quite weird. One day you're technically a child, and the next day the government looks at you like, congrats, you're an adult now, hope you know how taxes works. And you're standing there like, I barely know how to cook pasta without checking the packet. But that's the thing about turning 18. Nobody hands you a manual, nobody sits you down and says, here's how to survive adulthood without accidentally ruining your credit score, getting scammed, or crying in a Tesco car park at 11 p.m. because you don't know how council tax works. So this is the manual. This is a video I wish someone had of me any time at all before I even turn 18. Everything you need to know. Everything adults assume you magically know. Everything schools should have taught you but didn't because they were too busy making sure you memorize the mitochondria. This is the full breakdown of how to be an adult in the UK without losing your mind. Let's start with the first thing. Your legal status changes instantly. At 18, you are legally responsible for everything you do. No more, my parents will sign this. No more, I'm underage so I can't be fully held accountable. You are now the one who signs contracts, the one who gets blamed, the one who gets charged, the one who gets sued, the one who gets fined, the one who gets arrested if something goes wrong. That sounds scary. It's actually empowering because it means you get control. You get choices, you get freedom, but freedom without knowledge is chaos. So let me break down what that freedom actually means. You can now sign contracts, phone contracts, gym memberships, tenancy agreements, employment contracts, credit agreements, loans, subscriptions, everything. And here's the thing nobody tells you. Contracts are binding even if you didn't read them. Companies don't care if you didn't understand. If you sign it, you're locked in. So rule number 1 of adulthood, never sign anything you don't fully understand. If something feels off, if the salesperson is rushing you, if the deal sounds too good to be true, walk away. Adults who survive adulthood are adults who read the fine print. Next, your credit score begins now. Think of your credit score like your adult reputation. It decides whether you can rent a flat, get a car, get a mortgage, get a phone contract, even get certain jobs. And the biggest mistake 18-year-olds make is ignoring it until they're 25 and suddenly realize they can't get approved for anything. So here's the truth. You build credit by borrowing tiny amounts and paying them back on time. A credit builder card with a £200 limit is perfect. Use it for something small, like petrol or groceries or a pack of gum, and pay it off in full every month. Never miss a payment. Never max it out. Never treat it like free money. Treat it like a tool because that little card is the difference between being approved and, sorry, you failed the credit check. While we're on credit cards, let's talk about money, because adulthood is basically 50% money management and 50% pretending you know what you're doing. When you turn 18, you need your own bank account, ideally 2, a main account and a savings account. Your main account is for bills, spending and income. Your savings account is for emergencies. And yes, you need an emergency fund. Life will throw things at you. A broken phone, unexpected bill, travel costs, medical expenses, job loss, and having even £200 saved can stop a crisis from becoming a disaster. The rule is simple. Save what you can, when you can, even if it's £5 a week. It adds up. Now, taxes, the things everyone fears. So, the thing nobody explains and the thing that makes adults cry. Here is a simple version. If you work, you pay tax. Your employer handles most of it automatically through pay. You'll see deductions on your payslip. Income tax, national insurance, maybe pension contributions. You don't need to do anything unless you're self-employed, freelancing, or earning money outside your main job. But you do need to check your tax code. If it's wrong, you'll overpay or underpay, and HMRC will absolutely chase you for it. So, check your payslip, make sure your tax code starts with something like 1257L. If it doesn't, ask your employer or HMRC. Now let's talk about housing, because this is where adulthood gets real. Renting is expensive, deposits are expensive, bills are expensive, I'm not gonna lie, and landlords will absolutely try to take advantage of young tenants who do not know their rights. So here's what you need to know. When you rent, you pay a deposit that must legally be protected in a government-approved scheme. If it's not, the landlord is breaking the law. You also have the right to see the EPC rating, the gas safety certificate, and the How to Rent guide. You have the right to repairs. You have the right to not be harassed. You have the right to not be evicted without proper notice. And you have the right to challenge unfair charges. Never let a landlord intimidate you. They rely on young people not knowing the rules. And then there's council tax, the bill that hits you like a jump scare. If you live alone, you get a 25% discount. If you're a full-time student, you're exempt. If you live with other adults, you split it. But if you ignore it, the council will escalate it fast. Reminders, court orders, bailiffs. So always register your address and set up a payment plan. Now let's talk about healthcare, because turning 18 means you are now responsible for your own medical life. You need to register with a GP, you need to know how to book appointments, you need to know that prescriptions cost money unless you're exempt, you need to know that sexual health services are free and confidential, you need to know that mental health support exists, even if it's slow, and you need to know that you can advocate for yourself. If something feels wrong, push for answers. Adults who survive adulthood are adults who take their health seriously. Next. Work at 18. You can work full-time, night shifts, and any job that was restricted beforehand. But here's the thing. You have rights. You have the right to a contract. You have the right to breaks. You have the right to holiday pay. You have the right to sick pay. You have the right to not be discriminated against. You have the right to be exploited. To not be exploited. You have the right to leave any job that treats you badly. Don't let employers guilt trip you. Don't let managers manipulate you. Don't let anyone tell you that you owe them. You're an adult. You're allowed to walk away. Now let's talk boundaries, because adulthood is basically one long lesson in setting them. You're allowed to say no, you're allowed to cut people off, you're allowed to protect your peace, you're allowed to choose who you want in your life, you're allowed to outgrow people, you're allowed to change, and you are allowed to prioritize yourself. Being 18 means you stop living for other people's expectations and you start living for your own. And then there's relationships. Turning 18 doesn't magically make you good at them. You'll make mistakes. You'll trust wrong people. You'll fall for people who aren't good for you. You'll learn, but here's the rule. If someone makes you feel small, confused, anxious, or drained, that's not love. If someone controls you, isolates you, or manipulates you, that's not love. If someone only wants you when it's convenient, that's not love. Real relationships feel safe, they feel calm, they feel mutual, and you deserve that. Now let's talk friendships, because adulthood changes them. People drift, people grow apart, people get busy, people move, and that's normal. But you'll also find new people at college, at work, at the gym, online, everywhere. The key is to surround yourself with people who support your growth, not people who hold you back. You're entering a new chapter. Not everyone gets to come with you. Next, safety. Being 18 means you're more independent, but independence comes with risks. You need to know how to protect yourself, learn how to spot scams, fake HMRC texts, fake bank calls, fake job offers, fake landlords, learn how to secure your accounts, strong passwords, two-factor authentication, never share codes. Learn how to handle nights out, charge your phone, stay with friends, know your limits. Trust your instincts, learn how to deal with police, stay calm, know your rights, ask if you're being detained, don't argue, don't escalate, learn how to handle emergencies, know who to call, know where to go, know how to stay safe. Right, now let's talk admin. The boring stuff that keeps your life running. You need to know how to book appointments, how to fill out forms, how to read letters, how to check your bank statements, how to update your address, how to keep documents safe, passport, birth certificate, NI number, how to budget, how to plan, how to organise. Adulting is basically a never-ending list of tasks, and the sooner you build systems, the easier life becomes. And then there's driving. At 18, you can get your license, get insured, and get on the road. But here's the truth. Insurance is expensive when you're young. Black boxes help. Safe driving helps. Not modifying your car helps. And never, ever, ever drive without insurance. The fines, the points, the consequences, not worth it. Let's talk benefits. Because a lot of young adults don't realise that they might qualify for support. Universal credit exists. Housing support exists. Disability support exists. Job seeker support exists. You're not weak for needing help. You're not a failure. You're not a burden. The system is there for a reason. Next, mental health. Because adulthood is overwhelming, you will have days where you feel lost, days where you feel behind, days where you feel like everyone else has it figured out except you. But here's the truth. Nobody has it figured out. Everyone is improvising. Everyone is confused. Everyone is trying. You are not alone. And you are allowed to ask for help. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to take breaks. You are allowed to not be okay. Now let's talk identity, because turning 18 is the beginning of figuring out who you are. You're not supposed to have all the answers. You're supposed to explore, try things, fail things, change your mind, change your style, change your goals. You're allowed to reinvent yourself as many times as you want. Then there's family dynamics, because adulthood shifts them. You're no longer a child in their eyes, or at least you shouldn't be. You are allowed to set boundaries with your family. You are allowed to say no. you're allowed to move out. You're allowed to live your own life. You're allowed to break generational patterns, and you are allowed to heal. Future planning, because adulthood isn't just about surviving, it's about building. Think about your goals, your career, your education, your passions, your dreams. You don't need a 5-year plan, but you do need direction. You need momentum. You need something to work toward, even if it changes later. And finally, you're allowed to enjoy adulthood. It's not all bills and responsibilities. It's freedom, it's independence, it's late night drives, it's spontaneous trips, it's decorating your first place, it's choosing your own path, it's becoming the person that you always wanted to be. Turning 18 isn't the end of childhood, it's the beginning of your life, and you are ready for it, even if you don't feel like it. Even if you're scared, even if you're unsure, you're stepping into a new chapter, and you get to write it your way.